Join me as I take on the challenge of mastering the perfect corn whiskey mash recipe. Can I create a whiskey that whiskey lovers will rave about? It is not legal to make corn whiskey in all states. Be sure to check with your local and state laws before doing this. This video is created with AI and is for entertainment purposes only. Corn whiskey has always been a staple in the whiskey world, with its rich, sweet flavor and smooth finish. But what makes it so alluring to whiskey enthusiasts? For one, it's the perfect blend of tradition and innovation, with a history dating back to the early days of American whiskey production. And two, it's a whiskey that's all about experimentation and creativity, with a wide range of flavors and techniques to explore. When it comes to creating your own corn whiskey mash at home, however, things can get a little tricky. One of the biggest challenges people face is getting the proportions just right. Too much corn and your whiskey can end up tasting like, well, corn. Too little, and it can lack that rich, full-bodied flavor you're looking for. And then there's the fermentation process, which can be a finicky thing to get right. If your fermentation temperatures are off, or your yeast isn't doing its job, you can end up with a whiskey that's more suited to cleaning your garage floor than sipping on a cold winter's night. Another common struggle is understanding the role that different ingredients play in the mash. Do you use flaked corn or cracked corn? What about malted barley or rye? And how do you know when you've got the right balance of flavors? It's a lot to wrap your head around, especially if you're new to whiskey making. And then there's the issue of equipment. Do you need a fancy still, or can you get by with a simple pot still? And what about sanitation? How do you keep your equipment clean and your whiskey free of contaminants? So, what's the secret to creating the perfect corn whiskey mash? It all starts with the right ingredients. For this recipe, you'll need 10 pounds of flaked corn, 2 pounds of malted barley, and 1 pound of rye. You'll also need some yeast, water, and a bit of patience. The first step is to create a mash tun, which is essentially a big old bucket with a valve on the bottom. You'll add your grains to the mash tun, then pour in some hot water to create a sugar-rich liquid called wort. From there, you'll let the mixture ferment for several days, before distilling it into a high-proof whiskey. The key is to take your time and pay attention to the little things: the temperature of your fermentation, the quality of your ingredients, and the care with which you distill your whiskey. So, what sets this recipe apart from all the others out there? For one, it's the addition of a special ingredient that adds a hint of spice and complexity to the final product. And two, it's the attention to detail that goes into every step of the process. From the type of yeast you use to the way you monitor your fermentation temperatures, every detail matters when it comes to creating a truly exceptional corn whiskey. And the result? A whiskey that's smooth, rich, and full of flavor, with a hint of spice and a long, satisfying finish. By following this recipe to the letter, you can create a corn whiskey that's sure to impress even the most discerning whiskey lovers. And the best part? It's surprisingly easy to do, as long as you're willing to put in the time and effort required to get it just right. So, if you're ready to take your whiskey game to the next level, keep watching and let's get started. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've got experience making your own whiskey at home, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you're new to the world of whiskey making, I hope this video has inspired you to give it a try. Don't forget to check out my next video, where I'll be exploring the art of whiskey tasting and aging techniques. See you there!